Thanks for being here for another Stepping Stones to AAC Summer Staycation Frozen Friends Face Off. I'm Beth Waite-Lefevre, and I'm here with my friend Emily Cunningham, and we're going to be talking with you tonight about this fun activity you can do in the summer when you're home and you're having a staycation. So you're staying close to home and finding some things to do with your AAC learner. We always ask, who is here today? So, and I'll just tell you that, I'll go first and then I'll let Emily talk, but I'm a speech language pathologist. So I've been involved in AAC as a speech language pathologist for a long time, over 30 years. And I've worked in outpatient rehab and public school and private practice. And I've been a training and implementation specialist with PRC Saltillo for 4 years now.
And I'm Emily Cunningham. I'm also a speech language pathologist, and I've worked with AAC in the realm of speech language pathology for about 10 years, mostly in schools and private practice clinics. And I am the Los Angeles regional consultant for PRC Saltillo, and I've been with PRC Saltillo for about 2 years now.
And I see we have SLPs here. So that's fantastic. We're glad that you've joined us. We know that it takes a lot of different folks to work with our AAC learners. We sometimes on our team will have an SLP, we'll certainly have a teacher, a paraprofessional, parents, our occupational physical therapist, administrators. Lots of folks help us out there. We also know, as we always say at PRC Saltillo, that AAC is a journey. So we know that we don't, we go through the trial process and the evaluation process and then the rental process and then determine which device is appropriate. And then some people, I think in years past used to go, oh, we're done. We've got our device. It's over. And we know now that's just the first step in our journey, is that you're not going to learn all this stuff overnight, that it's going to take time. It's going to take practice. And so that's partly why we came up with our whole Stepping Stone series, is that we want to provide you some small chunks that can help you really learn how to implement AAC with your child or with your client or student. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off, and let's do that now because it makes it easier sometimes to be a little smoother in our programming here. So. Okay, so what are we going to do today? We're going to use this organizational tool. And this is one of the handouts that you have for this. And this is called Another Stepping Stone. So we did the original Stepping Stone to AAC Staycation a couple of weeks ago. And this is kind of round 2. We call it Another Stepping Stone because we really kind of take it up a notch from where we were. We're going to talk about ways that you can target some communication functions and really go beyond some initial language modeling. So this is one of your handouts that you have. And just because sometimes we wonder, like, what am I going to use this tool? We're going to go through that tonight. And I'm going to also show you that you'll see some information here too. So this handout kind of tells you what goes in those boxes I just showed you. So when you're finished and you have these handouts and you're thinking, okay, what did Emily and Beth, tell us to do? You can go back and look at this. So one of the things we'll be doing tonight is we'll be choosing a routine or a motivating activity. And, for the time's sake, we've already chosen something we're going to share with you. When you use this on your own, you're going to think about your AAC learner and what's something that they do that's motivating. And then you're going to choose a communication function. And we're going to go through what communication functions are. But that's basically a reason to communicate. And then you'll choose your core words or the phrases. So you'll choose a single core word and then talk about how you can put those core words into maybe 2 or 3 phrases, if that's the language level that your learner is at. Then you're going to think about the script. Okay, so what am I going to say and what will I touch on the AAC system? So, I might say a sentence with my voice that has 6 or 8 words, but maybe I'm only going to use 2 or 3 words of that sentence on the device to model those words. And then you'll be ready to try it out. And it's okay to try it out first without your AAC learner if you want to. You might decide that you kind of practice on your own first. You might even try it out with another adult just to see what does it feel like to model Some people prefer to kind of try it out like that before they actually try with their student, and that's perfectly okay and can be a great way to do that.
And then these are two examples of some of the core boards that you get as part of the content in this lesson. So if you are in your AAC learning journey under this class, you can go into the content tab and download some of these light tech core boards that are representative of the home pages that you might see or you typically see on some of our PRC Saltillo AAC systems. And they have some of the most frequent or most used core words already showing for you. So a lot of times when you're not sure potentially where to start with what words you want to focus on, you can go ahead and just download or pull out these core boards, and you're able to go just right down the list and look at what words you could focus on for your activity, which of these words are most relevant, which you could use over and over throughout different activities. And these are ways to integrate using and modeling these core words, even if you don't have a high-tech system at hand, or potentially if you're in a scenario where you don't want to use your high-tech system. So we are going to be playing today with some water and some ice, and even while it's melting, you may not want your device right with you. And so having a laminated core board, a printout that's covered nicely would be a great way of still modeling, still showing how to use these core words, but having it in a way that's not going to be damaged or bothered by the water that you might be playing with, or food, or paint, whatever that activity might be. And so we're going to show you a video of making our frozen friends race each other. We called it the Frozen Friends Frenzy. And these are the ice cubes that we had made previously in our first stepping stone with AAC lesson, where we actually did the activity of freezing toys or freezing little items inside of a cup of water so that we could later bring them out as these ice cubes that are called our frozen friends. And this time we get to race them on a board together. So we'll be talking about different words, different core words while we do it. And what we want you to do is, while you're watching this one that doesn't show the modeling directly with a device or with a core board, listen to what words are being used and being said so that you can interpret what you might use from the core board to model with based on what you hear in the video.
Use our frozen friends to race. They are cold right now. They are getting melty. They are getting warmer, being outside of the fridge. So we will race them. Who should we race first? Which one? Red, blue, yellow, orange?
Yellow.
Yellow bear. You'll race her.
Feel free to
And
type in the chat
the
any words you
blue
hear that might be core
avatar.
words we
You'll
might want to
race
talk about later.
blue and yellow. Let's see who will melt and go down first. We have to make it a little bit. Well, there he goes. He's going. The blue one is melting. The yellow one is not melting. Oh no! There he goes. Blue is going faster. He is winning. And yellow is not going. Yellow is going too slow. Yellow is too slow. Yellow needs help to go. Oh, yellow needs a lot more help. See if we can make yellow go faster. Oh, oh, blue is going. Blue. Blue wins. Blue is faster.
That's a fun activity. I had never seen that. That was Emily's idea to do that with the frozen ice and the little figures in there. So I think that's a very cool activity.
Yeah, it was fun. We got a good
Frozen
kick out of it.
friend.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to pull up that form that we talked about, and we'll just put up here because we already know that our activity is going to be Frozen Friends Race. And we want to think about communication functions to target. So these are some things we can talk about. We kind of always know about wants and needs, but within that, we can request items or activities. We can ask for attention. We can request permission. We can ask for help. We can direct the action of others, like telling them what to do, or we can ask them to stop. We can accept or reject something. Under exchanging information, we can share and show. We can name things. We can talk about past and future events, confirm or deny, request information. Stating an opinion is like making a comment. Negotiate and tell personal information. And then the third column has social things. We can give greetings and closings, tease people, gossip, express manners, take turns, again, make comments and express feelings. So those are kind of the reasons to target communication. So if we think about those and we think about what we just saw, type in the chat. Let's maybe pick 3 of these communication functions we want to target. So if you looked at these and you think about it, you were doing this activity, what would you like to target?
Nice opinions.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we'll make that red.
Mm-hmm. Requesting permission.
Okay, we can do one more. Oops, my state opinion didn't stay red. Here we go.
Direct action.
Okay.
Excellent.
Good. Okay. So let's kind of keep that in mind. We're going to think about some core words that we might want to target. And I will say that because we are doing another stepping stone, we are trying to be a little bit more take modeling a little bit further. So one of our goals was to work on pronouns. So you did hear Emily saying like, he's going, we are doing this. So I'm going to put some pronouns in the first box. He, they, we, it.
And she, I think.
Was she one too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here and do he, she.
Which is a little hard with toys, but we can be creative.
Yeah. And then I know some of you put some core words in the chat that you heard. If you want to put those in again, then I can put some in here. So maybe let's look for maybe 6 more core words.
Cold, fast, slow, go, and help.
Okay.
Stop.
And stop. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about using an organizational tool like this is, there's no really right or wrong as far as what words we're using. It's just the words that you decide you want to target. And maybe you do this activity next week and you choose some different words and you choose some different communication functions to target. So that's the beauty of it. You can kind of tailor make it. Like maybe your learner's not feeling these words this week and something else comes up, and just go with what they're interested in. But we do know that if you're intentional in your planning, it really can help take the pressure off of the in the moment activity when you're modeling and using your AAC learners vocabulary. And we often find that a lot of implementers really appreciate it, even if they go through this process to help them think about it and they end up not referring to this during the activity. Just that planning process can be very helpful. So we will put this away for a moment. And we'll just look. We've chosen some of the words on here that we might want to use. And so one thing you'll want to do is make yourself familiar with those words. So when we talked about pronouns, we might use the word you or I. Okay, cool could be another one. There's she, go, he, it, fast, slow, watch, feel. And there's feel on that board. So it's a good idea to become familiar with where these words are, whether you're using the light text system or the app or the device. So some things that people will do also, if they're using the light text system and kind of help them find these words, is they might take the little wax wiki sticks that sometimes you see OTs use and make the outline of the around the block, so it kind of draws your eye to it to kind of help you where that is. I've seen people take like a file folder and actually make like a mask, so they'll cut out just the holes in that file folder so the target words will show through, and then they stick the light tech board in that folder, so it's just kind of a way to again just mask out the ones you're not using. Of course, we wouldn't do that for forever because we want our kids to have access to lots of words. But if you're just trying to teach a few words in a particular activity, that could be a good way to do that. Emily, do you have any other suggestions?
Yeah, even if you've got it laminated or you're using it in a plastic sleeve, using a whiteboard marker so you can easily wipe it off and change your words that you're focusing on, but giving yourself that visual piece of what to look at. And then I've also seen pointers where you can make it on a stick. You can I've even seen where people will take like sticky notes, and if you like put them back to back and cut out the size square and put that on a popsicle stick, then you can move it around and hold it, but still have a space to go through the middle and see through the middle for your AAC user to touch through if you want.
Great. Okay, so let's pull back up our document again, and we're going to think about what words we might be able to put together in some phrases. So we've got our core words up here in this box. So in the chat, if you would, type out like a 2 or 3 word phrase that you might make with this with those words if you were doing that same activity. So we've got some pronoun words up there. We've got
Nice. Go fast. He stop.
And go fast sounds to me like a direct action. So we're maybe directing, or it could be stating an opinion, like I think he's going fast. He stops sounds like a direction. Go fast could also be request permission. You could be asking, go fast. So you think about how those words are flexible, and again, depending on what your function is that you're targeting, you may use the same words, but you may use them for different purposes. Oh, I like that, blue go. So again, that could be a request, or that could be a direction, or that could be a comment, depending on how it's used. Okay. How about if we wanted to request permission? So these are kind of more like directing action.
And even that requesting permission, like you were saying, it almost flip-flops either way. So we could potentially say like stop it. And that would be directing an action, but potentially asking. And then nice. I like you put I help go as like a question mark. Can I help do it? Can I help make it go?
Right. Excellent. Okay, let's watch. Let me put this away again for a minute. And let's see this time. I don't know, Emily, you want to set this one up?
Yeah, so this time we did pull out a high-tech dynamic display, and we have lamp words for life on an accent here. And this was to model with the full dynamic display set up during the activity. And it was focusing a bit more on using those pronouns and the commenting, but hopefully you can see that pairing of multiple word combinations. They're still simple, basic core words, pretty much the ones that we all mentioned, and they're just putting them in different combinations.
Yeah, so as you're listening, if you hear a particular phrase that catches your ear with core words, feel free to put that in the chat.
I'll use our words this time so we can see who is faster. Who is faster? Is it the red beads?
Red.
Or maybe it will be her. The orange.
Her.
She may be faster.
She is
We'll see if she is faster.
faster.
She is the orange one. Ready to see? Should we make them go?
Yes. They go.
We're going to make them go down the slope.
I'm sure your hands were freezing, Emily.
Is faster.
They did get really cold after a while.
Oh, there it goes.
In. Goes. Down.
Who is winning? Which one is faster?
And because I know this student, I was able to use more higher level grammar,
You see the color?
but you don't have to.
Yes,
Red.
red is
In. Is. Faster.
red is faster. It is cold,
Is.
but it is getting warmer.
Cold.
Oh man, now it
In. Is.
is getting warmer. It is melting because it's getting
Hot.
hot.
Is hot.
But look at, oh, the orange. She is slow.
She is slow.
She is too
She
slow.
is slow.
Should I help her?
Yes.
Okay, let's help
Help.
her go down.
Go. Down. Help her go down.
Help her a little bit. Oh, there she goes. I roll her. Oh no, she's going.
It's hard to see her. Oh, there it is. There it is. That one kind of bleaches out.
Yeah.
Goes. Fast. She goes fast.
Look, they
They
stopped.
stop.
Oh no, they both stopped.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I did just want to mention that you don't need to do that, the grammar conjugations. It would have been just as effective to have your, 2 to 3 words go fast. He stop, they stop. That's just as important. That's just as relevant. I just know with this particular individual, she is ready for the grammar and the longer complex sentences. So that's what I was modeling for her, but it's just as effective to be a little simpler in your sentences depending on the level of your AAC learner.
Yeah, and if you're not sure what level they're at, on the AAC Language Lab, we have a language screener that you can answer questions and figure out. So you can do the free print version on the AAC Language Lab, or if you have a subscription, you can use the online version of the language screener. So that might be another tool for you. So let's just take a minute and think about our script. So these are the words or phrases that we want to model on the device, but we know that we're not just going to say these short words. We're going to say a sentence. So if you can think about like go fast, what might be the sentence that you're going to say out loud? You're going to model go fast, but what might be a sentence that you're going to say with your words? Like I might ask a question, will he go fast? But I would model go fast.
The blue one is going fast.
Yep. How about I help go? What might be your sentence you might say verbally when you're going to model I help go? Oh,
And
that's a good
I
one.
help make it go. Nice. That's that requesting permission. Can I help make it go?
Yeah,
Or
lovely.
I will make it go is more of that direct action or commenting, perhaps,
Hmm.
even potentially turn taking. I will make it go. Now you make it go.
Yeah. And we don't have the all the core words you might want to use, but to state an opinion, you might ask them, which one do you like? Which one do you think will win, the blue one or the orange one? So that would be like you're stating an opinion. So then they're gonna make their opinion. Well, I think the blue one will win. So that would be another way you could do that. So again, this is just to be helpful because we know that we want to model these words and phrases, but we know verbally we're going to say the whole sentence, but we only have to model those 1 or 2 words or 3 words in that phrase. This is a pragmatics chart that has language stages and those functions and the ages and their mean length of utterance, which is how many words that they will use in their phrases. So I mentioned that screener earlier. This is also a free chart that's on the Language Lab. If you're interested in, you could download this, and it just kind of helps you again look at what stage is my learner at. So what's their typical, just typical average vocabulary size, and then what is the way that they typically use those words to communicate. So if you follow along here, you'll see it gets more advanced, but that can help you know what, help me think about those communication functions and what would be appropriate at the stage of language learning that my AAC learner is at.
And I like it too as almost a double check, making sure you're still giving that adequate use of all the types of language you need and all the functions of language that we get to use. So we're not almost pigeonholing people into a specific pragmatic use or pragmatic function. We're opening up all those opportunities. So it helps us keep our plan appropriate for them.
Yeah. So we know that using open-ended questions is really important too. So an open-ended question would be like, what do you think will happen? Or what do you want to do next? Instead of saying, do you like it? Which tends to be a yes, no question. So open-ended questions are going to encourage more communication. And we know, again, if your AAC learner only responds with 1 or 2 words or phrases, you can respond and recast and expand their utterance. And so what that means is if they use, say, a 2-word phrase, you might want to add another word to it. So if they say, help go, you could model them and say, yes, you model the word I will help go. So we're adding a word to their utterance. And then recast is a way that you can actually begin to teach some grammar. So if they say, I go, you could say, I am going, or it fast, it is fast. So you're just providing a grammar model without penalizing them for not using that model. So as you're thinking about using aided language input and modeling, think about open-ended questions and those ways that you can expand their utterances. So do you have any other thoughts or questions about this? Anybody give anybody any ideas of things they want to try?
Yeah, does this seem like an achievable activity or something that you can kind of shape to fit activities that you're using right now, but it gives you maybe a better idea or understanding about how to pair those core words with your verbal speech? And I know for me, especially with those open-ended questions, that's something I really do have to strategize a lot of times. It's something that takes a while to get used to, and it is pretty natural for us to ask the yes or no questions or the single word answer questions. So I do strategize by writing out my scripts of those open-ended questions, so it helps me remember in the moment to be using that appropriately.
And I think those communication functions for me too. I get
Yeah.
stuck kind of in just commenting and directing, and
Yeah.
it's nice to go in and look at those and see, oh yeah, there are some other things that we can teach and model that provide lots of other engaging opportunities. And it's kind of fun to set up activities because I think negotiating is pretty fun too. Like you can,
Ooh.
do you want this one or this one? Or I'll take this and you take that. So those are kind of those kid skills that kids learn pretty early, when they're like 2 or 3 and they're trying to
Yeah.
negotiate different things they want. So that can be a fun one too.
I like that you said I have been working with teachers in my classrooms on modeling language using core words. I think this might be a helpful tool for them. The different options of communication functions will be helpful to get them beyond simple requesting.
Yeah.
That is absolutely it. It's hard to get people beyond that simple requesting, especially when they're, maybe strapped for time or attention or focus. And so, even coming in with your own activity and modeling how you use it for different functions. I've seen where people will fill out these worksheets and place them on a bin that's already like a created activity, just to give those different ideas of how to change the communication function or how to use it for, asking questions rather than just requesting. So I think that's all a great idea. And we do tend to lead by example, especially when we're with other people or we're working in schools. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and I just put in the chat, we have a class called Getting Beyond Basic Requesting.
Mm,
It's a
beautiful.
free e-learning course on AAC Learning Journey. I would highly recommend that because that takes what we introduced and goes way further. So you'll see a lot more examples. You'll have another planning tool as an option that you can use, but it's a great course to help people start thinking more about that, all those ways to communicate and how can I provide some of those opportunities. So check that out.
Awesome.
So yeah, we're glad you joined us today. Our email information is on here. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out to either Emily or myself. A version of this will be, like I said, on our YouTube channels, the Saltillo YouTube and PRC brand YouTube, probably in a few days or so. So if you would like to watch this again, or if you want to refer this to someone else you think they might benefit from, feel free to check it out on one of our channels. And I see we have another question over here. I have 3 middle school students who just received AAC apps. So it'll be new for me to help students with AAC apps with selective mutism and low speech intelligibility. So which apps are they using? Do you know? Is it Lampwords for Life or Touch Chat?
Hi, sorry, it's easier just for me to speak.
Sure.
Yeah, they're all using different apps. I have a Touch Chat, which is how I got to your website.
Okay.
I will also have another one with, I think it's pronounced Avaz.
Okay.
And then the third one, they haven't received their app yet. I want to say it's brand new to me. It's called something, is it Doe?
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it was really new to me. I can't remember what it was now.
Well, if you're looking for like activities for, is that what you mean, like activities for middle school?
Yeah, or just how to start with the level of kids who are already, they're already, I guess activities because they're already moving around on their device, and they're used to typing in the chat box for communicating because we're an online school program.
Nice.
So I don't know, I guess maybe it's more like also like motivation because some of them have been so frustrated with their communication all these years. So it's kind of brought them down as well.
It can be fun at that age level to do video trailers of movies or things like that. So because they're short, so a video trailer is only going to be like 2 to 3 minutes. And then you can make comments on those. You can talk about what's going on in the video.
Okay.
It's a good way to work on social commenting words like uh-oh and, surprise,
Okay.
awesome, and things like that. That's kind of that social language you might see middle school kids using. I
Mhm.
would also say on our AAC language lab, we do have resources for older students too, like different
Okay.
activities and ideas. So you can actually filter out. There's one called Young Adult, and there might be some things there that would be appropriate also. But there's different activities and things on there you can look at.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And
that
then,
other one is called Cough Drop.
okay.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's new to me.
Yeah.
And a
And then
lot of,
we have resources if touch chat is new to you as well. We have lots of things on AAC Learning Journey that, how to learn the vocabulary and then how to move around on the app within the iPad. So there's some programming information there too, if that's something that you're interested in.
Yeah, Touch Chat's the only one that's familiar to me, as you guys have been around for quite a while since
Yeah.
I started working in this field. But yeah, the other ones, all these new ones are popping up. So
well, and
all very
hopefully
similar, of course.
yeah,
but-
most of the core words should be the same or should be pretty
Mhm.
similar. So as long as you have your core board that you can, that has enough words on it for you to learn and model, then it would be a task of making sure that those same words are available on their systems. But that way you can, use your system or your light tech board to talk with them or talk to them, showing them how, to best communicate and potentially in longer sentences if they are of that language level, and then you're just being that appropriate model of we still use these systems, to just clarify our message or express our feelings, ask each other questions,
Mhm.
keep it a social fun activity so that they do stay motivated and they see the success that they get when they are understood.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting that in,
Great.
Kristen. She's listed a website that has a lot of short videos. I like the Pixar ones too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the shorts, the Pixar shorts are
Pixar
great
shorts. There's a
for
lot of
that.
really cute ones there too because they're enough of a story that you get a little bit of a story. You can talk about them and again make comments and questions, but it's not like a full movie that's going to derail everything you're trying to do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those Pixar ones, you're not competing with the words. Like there's not a script to those. So you're almost getting to be the script on top of it.
Yeah, the Pixar shorts that are wordless, they have a lot of nice things there too. So, and I guess finding out what motivates the kids and what they are interested in, and trying to use that as well, and finding a way to, I've had kids before that were really into like sensory issues, and I know I had a middle schooler who loved, simulated roller coasters. So you would find videos on YouTube of like, your personal viewpoint of being on a roller coaster. And that particular
That's so
student
good.
loved that experience because then you could talk about, going up, going down, you could put your arms up in the air, there's a lot of fun language that you could use. And that was like an age appropriate activity, talk about riding a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, we have
Online
kept
shopping.
yeah. Online shopping is another one. I know Pinterest has been around for a while, but I had a high school girl one time and we had all these Pinterest boards on jewelry and makeup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that were fun. So, well, we have kept you 9 minutes
Yeah.
over. So thank you for staying on with us. Certainly feel free to contact us or your PRC Saltillo consultant for any other questions that you might have about anything. And everybody have a great night.
Thanks for coming.